Hi, my name is Greg Chilcote. I want to take a few minutes of your time today to talk to you a little bit about sales. I can talk from some experience in this business since I've been involved in sales for most of my adult life. What I found is that when you talk about sales, most people actually believe that sales is a difficult profession. I don't think that's so. You'll hear people say, well, he's a natural-born salesperson, or she's a gifted, eloquent, natural salesperson. I don't believe that that's important. I think that gifts can help, and that if you are more naturally inclined towards sales, you may have an easier time. But I think even the person that has very little experience, very little native ability, can learn the sales process. The way you have to learn the sales process is first you have to understand the dynamic of the buyer. You have to understand the psychology of the buyer. And there is a certain psychology to buying anything. I don't care if it's buying a new car, a boat, a fur, a piece of property. It really doesn't matter. There's a certain psychology involved. And buyers, in their psychology, will move through certain steps. They have to complete each stage of the buying process before they're actually ready to commit and take possession of the new buying item. A lot of people that are sales trainers talk about the steps to a sale, the track to a sale. They all have all their little terms they use to describe the selling process. The one that I can relate to and the one that I use is called the 10 gates to a sale. Now, the reason I call them gates is this. In my mind, I can picture a wild prize. Maybe it's a wild stallion or pony or something like that that's out roaming the plains. And if I want to capture that prize, which in my mind is the sale, if I want to capture that prize, I have to build a stout corral to hold it. Once I build the stout corral and place the pony inside, it's mine. The same thing with the gates to a sale. The gates are, in fact, 10 separate gates that once closed form a stout, impregnable corral that no sale can escape from. Look at them this way. The gates, steps, tracks to a sale, whatever you want to call it, are nothing more than a blueprint. They're a blueprint that's overlaid over the buying process, and they allow you to walk the customer gently through each of the stages of buying that they have to experience. The gates to the sale, as I see them, are these. The first gate is the pre-approach, and this involves you only. This is the gate that's concerned about your inner being, your belief system, your attitude, your state of mind. You cannot embark upon the process of capturing that sale until you firmly believe in your heart that you'll make the sale. There cannot be any ambiguity. You have to be certain. So that's gate 1. Gate 2 and all the subsequent gates have to do with dealing with the customer. The customer is what's important with the rest of the gates. Gate 2 is setting the customer at ease. It's the meeting and greeting of the customer. Gate 3 is the stage of the gate where you're going to build a friendship with the customer. You're going to develop rapport. Gate 4, probably the largest, the most overlooked gate of all, is the qualifying gate. That's when you talk to the customer, and based on the trust they have in you and the rapport you've developed, you will find out what their wants, their needs, and their affords are, and to a lesser degree what their time frame is. The next gate then is selecting the proper item for them to purchase. What's right for them based on what their wants, needs, and affords are. After you've given them a good shopping experience and selected the proper item, the next gate that you'll need to close to corral this pony is you need to make an adequate presentation on the product you've selected. It needs to be animated, it needs to be lively, it needs to be interesting to them. In fact, I would caution you not to present what interests you, but in fact to present what interests them. The next gate along the steps are the demonstration. That is when you get the client to interact with the product and you demonstrate to them. They actually take physical possession of it. The next gate is getting a commitment to buy today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not sometime in the future, but today. You get the customer to commit to buy today, now. After that, you negotiate your deal. After you've negotiated your deal, you close it. You wrap it all up, you tie it all together. That's the last gate. Then you have a sale. Interestingly, if you've closed all the gates properly You've closed them all in order. What you'll find out is, as you get further along in the gate process, the gates get smaller and smaller and smaller and easier to close. So that if you've built your rapport, if you've set the customer at ease, if you've sold yourself to the people, if you've listened to their wants, needs, and affords, and truly took their interest to heart, found exactly what they need, then give a dynamic presentation on it, getting them to interact with it, getting them to feel it, touch it, smell it, taste it. If you've done all these things, when it comes to negotiating, it's a snap. And then, of course, after the negotiation process and they've committed to buy it at that time, you close the deal. You wrap it all up. In review, I guess I would say that the first 4 gates are probably the biggest gates and the hardest of all to close. The gate 1, getting yourself right in your head, getting the 6 inches of gray matter here to truly believe in your heart of hearts that you're going to make a sale to this customer today. So many salespeople go through their entire career and they hope to make a sale every day, and occasionally they do. Hoping is not what we're talking about. We're talking about faith, absolute faith. You have to have the faith that you are going to make a sale today. It's written that faith is the assured expectation of things hoped for, yet not yet seen. That's what I'm talking about. You cannot hope to make a sale. You cannot wish to make a sale. You've got to have a firm, heartfelt belief with no doubt, no room for second guessing you've made a sale. After you've done that, gate number 2, set the customer at ease. Welcome them as you would to your own home. Gate number 3, you want to develop rapport. You want to make a friend. You want to take a true interest in them. You're right in your heart, and you want to make sure that you take care of your customer. Because if you take care of that customer, trust me, they will take care of you. Then, of course, the biggest gate of all, qualifying. Talk to them about their wants and needs. And because you've developed a good rapport with these people and they feel very at ease and you are their friend, they will share with you intimate details of what their wants, their needs, and their desires are. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on the gates, tell a little bit about the philosophy that I have regarding sales. We can get into this at greater length later, but I thank you for your time.